There are many things that I do not miss about high school. But choosing where to sit at lunch has got to be right at the top of my list. Because when you walk into the lunchroom, every possible form of social division is on display. So at my school, we had the cool kid table, which just so happened to also be the rich kid table. And there's also the jock table, the band kid table, the theater kid table, the nerd table, the troublemaker table. Depending on where you went to school, there might also have been a black table, an Asian table, a Latinx table, a queer kid table, which may have also corresponded to the theater kid table. But I am a person who likes clarity and specificity. So if there are social expectations, I would prefer for them to be posted on the wall, not just sort of hanging invisibly in the air. But the only things posted on the wall in my high school were a Got Milk poster and the prices for spicy chicken sandwiches and Bosco sticks. So figuring out where to sit meant deciphering layer after layer of unspoken and very strict rules about belonging. So there weren't enough other black kids at my school for a black table. But then was I supposed to sit with the nerds? The jocks? The cool kids? Definitely not the cool kids. I was not a cool kid in high school. But the stakes were high. Because wherever you sit in the lunchroom, that's your group. That's your label, that's your people for an entire year. I could barely pick out my own clothes. And I'm supposed to make complex social decisions in 3 minutes. Now I'm convinced that everyone in this room, or at least everyone who has gone to high school in the United States, has experienced this seating dilemma before. Of course, high schools aren't the only place where it's important to choose the right table. So a few years ago, my partner and I made a reservation at a well-reviewed restaurant in the French Quarter in New Orleans. And having spent the day stuffing our faces with beignets and walking along the river, we walked into the restaurant that evening in street clothes, pretty much what I'm wearing right now, except it was summer, so I was wearing a t-shirt, jeans, sneakers, that's right. And we very quickly discovered that this restaurant had a dress code. One which we, as recent college graduates, would not be able to afford. And honestly, I have a job now, and I still could not afford this restaurant's dress code. Now, the host was gracious enough to let us eat there anyways, admittedly in a room away from the more elegantly dressed guests. But it was clear that we were not the kind of people who were supposed to eat at this restaurant. We chose to sit at the wrong table. Thankfully, with no consequences. But in the not-so-distant past, segregated diners and water fountains helped white folks in the United States preserve an anti-black social order. Choosing to sit at the wrong table then could cost you everything. Humans have always been good at using tables to reinforce social boundaries. Even in Jesus' day, you could tell a lot about a person by where they ate and who they ate with. Rich ate with rich, poor ate with poor, Jew ate with Jew, Gentile ate with Gentile. That is, except for Jesus. And when Jesus was doing his ministry, he earned a bit of a reputation for his dietary habits. In fact, he was often called a glutton and a drunkard. In other words, Jesus was famous for eating a lot and drinking a lot. Now, how much did Jesus love eating and drinking? Hopefully. Once when Jesus was hungry, he saw a fig tree in the distance. Shout out to my homies who came to trivia night. Y'all know about the fig tree. So Jesus walked up to the fig tree to get some figs, but there were no figs on the fig tree. And Jesus got so mad that he was denied his snack that he cursed the tree to never grow figs again. You should never deny Jesus his snacks.